Hello students, welcome to this channel. Today we will discuss on teaching aptitude. More specifically, we will discuss some expected questions on teaching aptitude. So let's start the video. And first question is which of the following does not belong to projected aid? There are four options. We have to identify the particular option which will not be belong to projected aid. Overhead projector, blackboard, APDScope, slide projector. Overhead projector obviously a projected aid because it is a part of projector. So we know that projector is in the projected aid category. And next option is blackboard. Blackboard it blackboard is a traditional method. We all know that blackboard is a traditional method and this is not a new method. So when we talk about the projected aid, so this will not come under the projected aid category, because in the projected aid category we will get those options, or we will get those answers which will be related to slides, video, projectors. All these will come under the projected aid category. And there are other there has another category which is a non-projected aid. So this blackboard is a non-projected, will fall under the non-projected category. So the option will be blackboard. And there are other two options: APDScope. APDScope is also a special type of projector, so it will come under the projected aid category. So, and the fourth option is slide projector. Slide projector itself a projector, so it will also come under projector. So we can easily say that the blackboard will be the right option. It is a traditional method of teaching, and it is a part of non-projected aid. So now let us discuss the second question. The second question is on the dynamic approach of teaching. So here the question is, dynamic approach to teaching means, first option is teaching should be forceful and effective. Teaching should be forceful and effective. So we can easily eliminate this option because teaching cannot be forceful. If we teach our students forcefully, then the teaching will not be effective. So forceful and effective, these are the two opposite options. So this option is not true, will not be true. So we can eliminate this option now. The second option is teacher should be energetic and dynamic. It may be an option. Teacher obviously should be energetic and dynamic. Dynamic means that there is a no static sense. There is a no fixed part. Teacher may be much more friendly to the students. Teacher must be very much friendly to the students. So we can take this option, but before finalizing the option, let us check the other two options. The second option is the topic of teaching should not be static. The topic of teaching should not be static but dynamic. Obviously it is a true, because it is also a true because the teaching, when we are talking about the dynamic approach, so it must be that the teaching should not be static. If the teaching is static, then it must not be dynamic. So this option is directly copying the questions. Our question is dynamic approach to teaching, and it is also the option C is itself the questions. We can say that because here we have it here it is only written that the teaching must not be static, it must be dynamic. So it can also be true, but the fourth option is the student should be required to learn through activities. So there is a twist here. The answer is that here the option is that teaching should be the student should require to learn through activities. Activities has its in a teaching method or teaching approach, activities has a great importance, because if a student is taught by different types of activities, then the students start to learn by those activities, and this by this process or by this activities, students learn better, because in activities students do their homework or do their tasks, or do different types or answer different type of questions by their own abilities, and there are no hard and fast specific book related or book centric book centric approach. So students try to solve different type of problem by different type of activities. So here basically teacher gives students specific activities, and student try to learn from by solving or by doing those activities. So if we see now let us decide which will be the appropriate option. We have already eliminated option A. Now we have to take decision on B, C, D. We can also eliminate the D option directly, because it is just copying the answer. It will not be the exact answer, so it will not be the exact answer because it is copying the question, so it will not be the answer. Now the option is the rest options are B and D. So if we see the B option, B, teacher should be energetic and dynamic, it is a good option, but the most appropriate option will be the option D. The most appropriate option will be option D. Why? Because if we talk about the dynamic approach is not a specifically classroom centric approach or teacher centric approach. In a dynamic approach, students learn from every side. Specifically, if we say that students are learning from activities, then it is much more indicating the dynamic approach. So option D will be most appropriate, and we can cancel the B option, because here we are only saying that teacher should be energetic and dynamic. So teacher must be energetic and dynamic, but option D is saying one step further. Here we are saying that the students must learn through activity. So option D will be most appropriate. So now let us discuss on question number 3. In question 3, we can see that the question is classroom communication must be. Classroom communication is very important in a classroom. Teachers usually teaches students on different types of topics. So we can easily say that the classroom teaching must be teacher centric, because teacher is teaching, so and students are listening, so teacher, we can say that teacher centric. But the classroom communication is not the teacher centric, it is the student centric. The classroom communication is student centric, because teacher taught or teaches different type of topics on the basis of to the students. So here students is most important. Students are most important, or we can say that student is the dependent variable, because and teacher is the independent variable. Teacher is teaching the students and on different type of topics. So the communication, this type of classroom communication will be student centric, not the teacher centric, because here students are important and teacher is teaching students to the students on a particular topic. So a student is important and students are dependent variable, and so the answer will be option will be D. Option will be B. There are other option also, C and D. Since C we can easily cancel C, that is general centric. It has no meaning, and textbook centric, it has also no meaning. So the final answer will be B. Now let us discuss on question 4. In question 4, the question 4 is the best method of teaching is. What is the best method of teaching? We have to identify. There are 4 options also. In first option, option A is impart information. Impart information is taking information or many number of information. This can be a method obviously, but we have to identify the best option. Next option is ask students to read books. It is also a good method, because you are asking or you are saying students to read the books. And option C is on suggest good reference material. You are saying to the students that read those reference material. It is also a good and third option is initiate discussion. You are motivating the students to start the discussion, and you are participating in that discussion. So we can easily say that option D is the most appropriate. We have to identify the best option. All the four options are correct, but the option D is more correct, because if you are motivating the students to discuss on a particular topic, then the students will learn better, because when you are giving them opportunity to discuss on the particular topic, then their mental ability or cognitive ability or thinking ability will develop. So it will motivate them, or it will create an interest on them on the particular topic. And obviously you have to participate on the discussion, because you have to correct if they anything wrong. So your participation is also an important factor, so we can say that option D is the best option. Now let us see the question 5. Question 5 is on nowadays the most effective mode of learning is. What is the effective mode of learning? We have to identify: self study, face to face learning, e-learning, blended learning. Self study is not the effective mode of learning, because there are obviously self study is important. We cannot say that self study is effective mode of learning, because there are other options too. What are the other options? Face to face learning. Face to face learning means teacher is facing the particular student. So this is a normal traditional approach, and it is obviously good, but we cannot say that it is effective, because there are other options which may be very much effective. E-learning means online learning through internet. So we can also take this option, but we have to consider the fourth option also. The fourth option is blended learning. Blended learning is a very new topic, and now in this COVID-19 period, we are only doing, we can say that we are doing, or the world is doing, the blended learning, because blended learning means the online as well as offline learning. So here students learn partly through online and partly through offline. This is a very effective method, and all the nations or all the governments are considering this blended learning right now, because in future or in upcoming next 2-3 years, if the COVID-19 situation continues, then all the universities, college, or schools will try to go in the blended learning mode, because in the blended learning process they will teach through online, and also they will teach through offline. So there are two types of options, or both options. Previously we can see that in India specifically, we mostly depends on the offline type of teaching. Right now in COVID-19 period, we are depending on the online type of teaching. But if the situation continues, then obviously government will have to adopt this blended learning method, because government will have to depend obviously on online teaching, but also government have to go for offline method as well, because offline, if if online classes continues and online exam continues, then it has some different type of obviously it has some negative impact on the total education system. So to eradicate or to remove this negative thing or negative side of full online method teaching, government have to go for offline method also. And if we talk about the science, main core science related subject, we or mainly the lab based subject, in a lab based subject the online method is not possible, online method of teaching is not possible. So there is mandatory offline method, or offline method of teaching is mandatory in a lab based subject. So we can teach students about the theories, or various types of understanding level things in online mode, but for lab based subject or lab oriented experiments must be done in a particular lab. So offline teaching is very important. Now here I am ending this video. I will also upload the next series of videos on this particular topic, and thank you for watching. and please share, subscribe, and uh, subscribe this channel with your friends, because if you subscribe, share this channel, it will motivate us to upload such types of videos. Thank you for watching.